I can't do it.
It's playing now. It's got the GS logo.
I'm live! Hello everybody, welcome to our first live watch along in the studio. We're just trying to see whether this works or not. It is live on the screen, so hopefully you can see us and hear us at home. As you can see, you've got myself, Decca, and joining us today from the other side of the camera, it's Darryl.
Hi everybody.
Welcome on. We'll be missing you in the chat, Darryl.
Oh hey. I've got it open actually, so we can keep the tabs so you can talk about anything during the game.
Too cool. So if you can just let us know in the comments whether you can see us and hear us properly and everything like that. Just because we are flying solo today. Adam and Chris are out gallivanting. It's Nolan's birthday today and Adam's getting pissed in the pub. So
there's a change.
we're going to do everything ourselves. So hopefully it's all working good. So let us know in the comments. But
Cheers, Tom.
we are live. We've got the players lined up. So for those of you that are wanting to pause and watch along, the players are just in the centre spot, and I'll let you know when they're going to take the knee. Hopefully you've paused at that point, and they're down taking the knee now. So lads, we've got a change to the team. Big Joe's out. Big Joe.
That doesn't disappoint us. Like I wouldn't say.
And they're on the feet now.
It doesn't worry us that, to be honest with you. But one got a striker on the field, which is a bit. Which is great.
So some would say when Joe Linton plays, we'll have a striker on the field.
That's probably a fair comment, actually.
You would have expected the likes of Gale or Carroll just to start anyway, but well, it's Steve knows what the prize.
I thought I maybe thought Gale or Carroll would have started. I mean, Carroll seems to be completely out of the picture, doesn't he, really? But yeah, I mean, obviously, what's the matter with Joe? Injury? I don't know what it is or not.
Not that I know. If anybody wants to back out in the chat, that'd be great. We'll check it out.
Yeah, because it seems to have came out of the blue, that one, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Nothing's been kind of mentioned in the week or anything like that, but...
Now, when you heard it in the car on the way over when they were talking through the lineup on the radio, like...
Yeah, so it looks like Saints playing through the middle with... Oh, hello, M-Dubs. With Willock to the right, and am I saying that now? Saint's gone to the left and Nicky's through the middle.
Yeah, I think that might change. So I think Saint might go left when we haven't got the ball, but then move more central when we do. Well, I'm also noticing we ain't got time or a score.
No,
that's just the way our pitch.
I think, well, considering we've got the channel logo and stuff in the top one, it's
So
definitely...
we're going to do a time check because we haven't got a time.
Okay, here it comes.
Just say thanks.
There it is.
There it is.
Just say thanks to Tommy there because he said the sound and the audio and the visuals and everything's are perfect.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks for letting me know.
Thanks, Tommy.
So we are on a time check.
Go on,
Go on, son. Nice long ball over the top, looking for... Is that Murphy? No, it's Murphy, Willock Murphy.
Don't be like the commentator last week, Mark.
He was shit, wasn't
he? Every time, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was, yeah.
That's crap film, and centre back again. Price.
So 1 minute 40, 1 minute 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. So there's your time check if you want to watch. Oh, hello.
Get in there.
What shall we put in? Lively start.
It is. I'll tell you what, I'd love this to be just even a smidgen like the last trip to Fulham we had on the last day of the season because it was a fucking great day. And pardon my French, but yes, I enjoyed that day. It was the 4-0 win, Rafa's last game.
Oh, I did. Every fan still counts on about it now. It's the game that everyone.
The GEORDIE Armour, that's it.
The sun rising over the hill and life is going to be good. And then that quickly changed.
Oh, I did.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? How important I thought this game was going to be to what it is. You know.
Well, that's it because it is like now a nothing game. Obviously, with them going down, but. I know we're hot on about it, but you go back to that Brighton game and they'd been on a bit of a run of form. They'd picked up points at Liverpool, hadn't they? And then they got, was it 1 point they were within at that point?
Yeah, well, we went into the bottom three, didn't we? A game later for about one half of football. They were beating Villa, I think, and we dropped in the bottom three.
They collapsed against Villa.
That's right. And then it's unreal from that moment to think the breakaway that we've managed to put together. It's quite amazing. Like someone just said in the chat that our Bessie's looking different.
He's had a haircut.
He's put a pair of glasses on.
Yeah, so this is the enigma of Mr. Mitchell Hill from the chat. So if you weren't sure what he looked like, this is him in the flash. In the flash.
In the flash.
Oh, yeah, close on.
So you used to him chatting away in the messages on the chat, but now we've got him to look at today.
Oh, my lovely mug.
So apologies for that.
Chris has turned into a chair. Yeah. Very quick.
To be fair, it'll probably be more useful.
Yeah, Alan's seen score predictions. So Mark, what's your thoughts?
I'm going to go 2-1 Newcastle.
I was thinking 2-1 myself, like, definitely.
I was waiting for that. I was just waiting
What
for
sort of a
that.
head is that, man?
I think 2-1 us, aye. 2-1 us. Yeah.
2-1
Did you say 2-1 as well, did you?
Aye.
Oh, I can't do
I
that.
think we'll all say 2-1.
I'll go for 3-1 then. 3-1 us.
We're all feeling quite positive then.
So they're saying the sound's slightly echoey.
Slightly echoey.
I don't know if that's... We're a bit unsure of what mics we're coming through. We're either coming through the camera mic, but I don't think we're coming through these mics. So we'll try and fix it. Mark's up now to try and sort it.
Ooh, go on.
So fully expect the stream to go completely off if Mark's in charge.
Alright.
It'll completely go off and we'll see you on Monday night.
It's a free kick there on for a foul on me there.
Lovely strip that, isn't it?
It is.
Absolutely lush.
I still haven't got any of this season's like.
I've got them both actually, like, but they're not. They're made by some wonderful person in China. I believe.
Quality's still good though.
Spot on, aye, spot on. Aye. Oh, man. Get down.
You know, we're talking about what predictions are coming into this game, and this is exactly how I wanted it to come into this game. I wanted it to mean nothing. I wanted it to be all done before we even got to Wednesday's game against Sheffield United, and thankfully that's how it played out. And that goes as far back as January. In fact, even at the start of the season was my thought coming down to these last few games, and I'm just so glad it's all done and dusted. Like, and after Brighton, I was proper laying logs in my pants about it. Like,
Yeah, well, no, I agree. I think much better.
Got the thumbs up.
Yeah, it's
Audience
looking
much
good.
better.
Thanks very much.
go on, Saints! Oh,
Jesus.
Jesus.
Hey, calm down, man. That's my job.
They're going to complain the audio was a bit loud now, probably.
That's it. We'll just move that back a little
yeah,
bit.
just a few jumps for that. Go on, look at that great little.
Oh, that's not far off,
I
is it?
saying that. He's the best in the world.
Takes him to the. That's on his weaker foot as well, isn't it?
It's just a little bit of acceleration to get him in the box, wasn't it?
I thought that was a goal kick. Did he save it, did he?
He was safe.
Well, we'll take it. Like,
I
thought he just did it wide.
Yeah,
What do you reckon about this? Because he hasn't worn the bandages on his wrists all season. So what's he been doing?
Jason will be there. Daryl's sounding clear now.
Aye. So Saints' wrists, he's had them taped up for what, the last 3 or 4 games like this.
Too much wanting, I think.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I think so.
What's the keeper? Why is the keeper not catching that there?
Go on.
Looks like
What's
he's going
going on, Joe?
Hit it.
Oh, sure.
Corner.
Another one.
It looks like he's going into like a boxing match or something. Doesn't
Aye,
it?
it does,
Yeah. No, you're right.
It's probably all that time he spends falling over on the floor, so he doesn't jar his wrists when
That's
he's
a good
falling
point.
over.
That's a good point, actually.
I'm surprised they're not Gucci labelled.
I see Fulham have got a full house as usual.
I'll not do the overall atmosphere any different anyway, that's for sure.
You tell me Fernandez is getting mocked by that little kid? Is that what I was saying there?
Carry on.
Carry on, back post, get up there.
Go on, get up. I can't even get it up, man.
Go on, G.
Come on, Matt. Reggie! Where are you?
Is anybody actually in that stand?
No, there's a few at the top there, isn't there?
Yeah, that's normally the press box.
Yeah, so all the press are in there, but I think there must be just a little bit at the very end there. You see where it's taped off?
Yeah, I wonder if everybody's just behind the goals and maybe it's on this side of the pitch that we're not looking at.
Well, we can't be on this side of the pitch because that's the bit that they're rebuilding.
Mm-hmm.
So they've just put them in each end.
Oh, they've got bloody clappers as well. Thank God they're relegating them.
Yeah, did the Macrams have clappers yesterday? Because I swear to God, there was some bloke making an almighty racket.
No, but there was somebody with a biscuit tin, I reckon. A biscuit tin and a spatula.
Something like that.
Every fucking time.
The back or something, you know?
Doing my boxing, tell you.
Get him
Go on,
close.
Shelby.
Well done.
That was
Did really
good.
well.
Quick
Nice.
feet, that.
Did
Good.
really well there. How's your touch? That's all right.
Go full over this thing.
Excellent. Well played.
Happy days.
Nice.
Well played. Good deal. I beat Man City. They were batting Newcastle. They were gone.
It's been a bit of an open game so far, isn't it? Back and forth.
It's been a bit a lot more frantic than I was expecting, to be honest. I was worried that it would be more just like a friendly. Like, you know, there's nothing really to play for. There isn't anything to play for, was it?
Well, I think Parker will have said that, you know, obviously they've been chasing us all season. They'll want to.
That's a difficult. You see Kraft there getting, you know, he's one-on-one there, and I think it's hard enough one-on-one, but anyone's going to fancy himself one-on-one against him.
Aye.
And he's
He's a good little player as well,
Yeah, he is.
isn't he?
He's a good player. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
To be fair, if he gets his head up, their 14's unmarked at the back post.
He's one of them ones. I mean, they've got a clutch of players there who are in on loan for the season. He's one of them from Leipzig, so it'd be interesting to see what happens to him for next season as well.
Oh, hey.
He seems to have been a little bit of a flop at Leipzig, which is why he's ended up back here. Go on,
Go on, say it. Little touch.
Go on, son.
Oh, it's a good
Go on.
tackle, that, like, to be fair.
Why didn't Miffy could have committed there a bit more? Go on.
Hey, we're both chasing the ball down like them and us.
Yeah. No, definitely, yeah. If you want a time check, we are at 9:55, 56, 57, 58, 59, now 10 minutes. That's out.
Pull the ball out. Bright enough start from both teams, though.
Oh, I definitely.
Maybe because there is nothing to play for, they're a bit more maybe relaxed, gung-ho. Well, not gung-ho, but you know what I mean. You can see none of them are like defending or trying to be hard to beat. It just seems to be just chase it down. You might find though when the first goal goes in, obviously hopefully it's just I get it like what type of reaction is from the opposition.
I just imagine there might be like an instruction there from Scott Parker about, you know, we've got the fans in for the first time, so you need to put on a bit of a show for them.
Africa's kicking's been a bit wayward when the balls get back to the minute.
It's been, to be fair, his distribution hasn't been good for a while. As a one criticism, I think probably. I mean, it's hard to criticise him because he's been brilliant, but his distribution hasn't been brilliant. Like,
I'll do. We'll have that.
So Darryl, obviously, we've never spoke other than in the group of the season that we've had. Mm-hmm. What's your overall opinion of the season?
It's been very disappointing in my eyes. You know, it's you look at how we were at the end of last season, and you know the hope was there from us that we'd be able to kick on, but you know it's just played out, and I think you can tell with that run that we had with the 2 wins in 22. It's just been terrible, and you know amongst us in the channel group and amongst people who watch all the watch-alongs in the chat, and that there's been like a consensus that you know we can all see where things need to be changed and where there's improvement, and it's just like trying to beat Steve Bruce's head against the brick wall to make him see sense about things. And it took him until 10 games ago to eventually switch his formation back to something that the group of players were familiar with and could work with. But yeah, it's been a disappointing season. And to be honest, I know there's a lot of external factors to come into play about how we're going to next season, but if we take it as things stand now, and if things stay the same in terms of manager and upstairs, then it'll be difficult to see how we're going to do the business we need to do to progress. I don't know. In my opinion, I don't think we'll have enough money to purchase Joe Willock outright. I think we'll be able to try somehow to put in for a full season loan. But in terms of the full picture, I just don't know how we're going to be different next season to what we are this season.
So when you say progress, like what in your eyes of progression, what do you feel?
Well,
that is
this squad even now should be finishing higher than where it is. So progression for me would be to be solid, to be relatively safe in the division before you enter the last 5 games of the season. You know, getting up to maybe 20 or 30 points before Christmas if you can, in and around that mark, and just being able to see out the second half of the season just to get to a point of relative safety, and then just be able to build on that. And if you can get anything higher than the 10th or mid-table or whatever, and just take that as your bonus. But this has been too close for comfort for me. This season's been shite.
I think the 2 wins in 22 or whatever it was is the problem. I think the back end of the season, and in fairness, a lot of people said there's under offer as well that we'll finish the season strongly. And you could see we have now on a very tough run. Go on,
Mickey. Oh, absolutely.
But it's that period of them 20 games that was really, really poor.
It's taken the form that we're seeing in these last few games in the next season, being able to carry on with it.
Well, you'd like to think so. I mean, the most disappointing for me of the season was the quarterfinals against Brentford. When you had an opportunity to get to the semis there, which I think a lot of people's probably forgotten about. And that performance was shambolic, which I think was then followed. Well, it feels like it was followed similar to the Sheffield United game away when them won their first game. It was them 2 games really stand out to me of just being absolutely dreadful. But
it's daft as well, because you could see, you know, after that Brentford game, you went in and looked, oh God, what a hell of a Christmas period we've got coming up, playing Man City and Liverpool and all that. And then after that Leicester game, you just knew, you could see it all over. People knew that we weren't going to beat Sheffield United. You could just tell. And
we're set up as if we couldn't win either.
No, that's it.
Absolutely shite. It was terrible. There's a couple of comments in here. There's one from Jason Hobby said Fulham players could be playing for a move away. But out of the 3 sides going down, which players would you take for ourselves out of the teams that have gone down? Is there anyone that stands out to you?
No, there hasn't been anybody that's really set the world on light for them, has there? Like, I mean, the last time that they had, like, Kenny was brilliant, wasn't he, for that? And then, but in Sessegnon as well, he was another one. But
I like that Lookman, but I'm not saying, would he get ahead of Miggy or Sane or John? He wouldn't, would he? Right. So, but I suppose he's a squad player. I do like. There's a lad they've got in centre midfield. I can't remember his name. Really skillful lad. I don't know if he's playing maybe on the left hand side. I'm not quite sure actually, but he's a good player. Help if I knew his name.
In terms of the teams that have gone down, not necessarily Fulham, but you've got Pereira at West Brom. He's had a hell of a season.
Very good. Yeah.
He would be somebody you could maybe think about. But again, it's whether or not we've got the budget to be able to afford these players.
Oh, absolutely right. Yeah. I think someone's just said Pereira. West Brom looks good.
Aye. Yeah. And there's the other lad in West Brom's team. I think he's a Turkish midfielder, and I think I'm forgetting his full name, but I'm sure on his shirt it says OK.
He's okay.
So he must be okay. Yeah. And he seems like a pretty solid midfielder, even though the side got relegated. That seems a bit of a shit quad, doesn't it?
West Brom normally have a few decent players, but they always struggle, don't they?
That's a bit of a kick.
But you can always look at a West Brom team and think they've got a couple of players in there that would be decent. I mean, generally they are ones that they bring in on loan and stuff like that. Like, but
I think it's always difficult, right? It always is. But I feel now when teams come up, it's just harder and harder, isn't it, for them to stay?
Unless you've got money to invest, which
I mean, Leeds have had a tremendous season, no question in that. But the teams that are down there is what you would expect, right? I mean, I know Sheffield United had a great season that when they first came up, but it's no surprise that they're down there. Do you know what I mean?
But they did invest in the summer into the squad and brought in a couple of players and stuff like that. So you always do find that, don't you, with one team when they come up that they'll have a good run and then they get found out the following season.
Yeah.
I could see it happening to Leeds next year because everybody knows what they're about, the energy that they've got, how they play and stuff like that. And will teams have figured them out by then?
I would agree with you there, but there's a thing about Leeds that's just relentless, aren't they? They just do it for the whole game, 90 minutes.
That's a nice.
It's all out their philosophy, and to be honest, I don't even think Bielsa would stand for it. to drop to a point where they would get outthought off the pitch.
Alan's asked here, Cordoni sticker. Alan, that's his. We've seen him before. Who's your player of the season, lads?
Ooh. Wilson. I'll put it out there straight away. I'd say Wilson.
Yeah, I think I'd probably have to agree just for the impact his goals have had, really, more than anything, and the fact that the number of games he's played, he's nigh on 1 and 2 in those games for goals. So without that, and obviously I'll leave the next bit of probably who Decker's going to suggest. I would have thought.
Well, it's a funny one that you could point at Willock, and he's only played. I mean, he only came in January.
That's true.
You know, you think of like your season in terms of what someone's brought to the table. It's been incredible, right? What he's done, but
he did have that. His first couple of games he was brilliant, and then obviously we know what he's done the last 6 games. But that spell in between, he did lose a bit of form and then ended up getting dropped, didn't he?
Yeah.
So
I think I would.
Well, look at Shelby sprint there, man.
Get back in.
Go on.
Yeah, mate, Shelby, you can chase him back.
Oof. You're not after the next 10 minutes now.
I'll also give it to Wilson, I think, because it seemed to be every game. When the games we did win, he had scored the goals. It was pretty much every single time. In the Everton away game, for example, a great performance, he got both. I probably would say Wilson, but I would say, of course, Saint. I think that's who you alluded to. I mean, the guy's tremendous.
For the impact he has on the games and the teams and stuff like that, isn't it? But he's been missing
a long time because
there's
COVID, wasn't there? Was COVID, then there was injuries and stuff. So, and Wilson's missed a bit of time, but he has been absolutely phenomenal. Like,
but there's nobody that like massively jumps out, like as performance wise of like consistency and like that kind of thing. Like, because like you could even say, I mean, Clark at the unlucky, slightly too.
That's what I mean by the Willock comment was it's mental that a person that's come in January could be your player. Hit it.
Have a dig, son.
It's corner deflection. Did
Cisse not get it when in the half season he came in?
Probably.
Yeah, but he's scored 4 goals every game.
Yeah.
But that's that difference, isn't it, of coming in and just completely changing the team, and that comes off his hand there, doesn't it?
I think my battery's going to go.
But it's because Saint has had an impact as well, and
he does.
Obviously, the goals that Wilson scored. Like I was thinking there, like Clark at the start of the season was very good, like consistent and stuff like that. Fernandez has been very consistent throughout the season, bar a couple of games. Richie since he's came back in, so there's plenty of people that have done well, but you know, being standout is.
How's your touch?
Well, don't keep doing.
Carried.
That's a free kick, surely.
That's a good tackle, I thought.
He gets the ball.
I'm the man.
Careful.
That's a foul.
Dear me. Why would you do that there?
Emil Kraft.
We had 2 players around him and he's next to his own box. Why would you dive in like that? Pure callback, that wasn't it?
Well, there's some later scores coming in. So we've got Arsenal 0, Brighton 0, Villa 0. Oh God, this is following a pattern. Oh, there you go. Leeds 1, West Brom 0. Leicester 1, Tottenham 0.
In Harry Kane's last game, do we think?
All right, right. I think so. Liverpool 0, Palace 0, Man City 2-0 on Everton.
Am I right in thinking that means that at this moment in time Chelsea will be out the top 4?
I think so, yeah.
Yes, Liverpool would be in.
Yeah. Man United beating Wolves away. Still all to play for up at the top there.
It is.
Thank God not down the bottom.
Aye.
Yeah.
Well, saying that though, the bottom
that was really good.
Obviously, from 4th bottom up over are playing for position up until up to 12th, aren't we? Really,
we're playing for a little bit extra money in the kitty.
He's done well there in the end.
That's a great little bit of
skill. He did really well in the end there. Go on, Joe.
Come on, Joe. Give it.
Go on, son.
Inside him.
Just keep going.
Oh, he's just running the wall there.
Go on, hit it.
Well done, Joe. That's in equal Shearer's.
It is, 7 and 7, isn't it?
Dear me. I thought he'd blown it there, like when he took that extra touch into the box.
Just the way it fell for him after it flicked up. That's a great finish, though. Go on, Joe.
Has he taken that from inside of our own half there? He has, hasn't he?
Yeah, he fluffed it really. To be,
I honestly thought he's taken this too far.
He's already in. He's took it from within our half easy, and he's just walked all the way to the edge of the box. That's where he gets lucky. Are you trying to say something? You don't tell me you're trying to say it's offside.
The better not.
Well, actually, like he's right on the right hand touchline, halfway in our own half.
No,
he's nowhere near, is he?
Yeah, no way.
Don't even try it.
No way. Great finish, that, isn't it?
There's a big bit of luck in that, but we'll take it.
Well, we'll take it.
There he goes.
This could be the capitulation, or
equals Shivas, right?
It could be them waking them up and think, well, we might as well go for it now.
That's true.
Christ almighty, 7-7.
That's
player of the season, isn't he?
From midfield as well. It's so impressive from midfield.
But it's what we've been crying out for so long, man. Somebody that can pick the ball up and run with it.
Yeah. And it's not just running with the ball either. It's like the runs he does into the box.
He arrives
late, but like Gary
Speed.
Like
Rob Lee, Gary Speed, them kind of players.
Well, not very
high. He reminds me, and I didn't like this lad actually, but he reminds me of Dele Alli a bit. When Dele Alli was good, reminds us of him. He's quite deceivingly quick. Yes. He doesn't run fast, if that makes sense. But you see, them couldn't catch him.
They're in now. Could have reached.
Well played, Kraft. That was good, that.
Well done.
So there'll be a lot of people happy with a payout because I think everybody in the world backed him to score at any time. I think it was
unbelievable.
As if I can't remember how much it was. I think it was up to 7-1 with some people, but I think most were saying around 4 to 5 to 1.
We'll see if Shell's watching. She can tell we should put a bit on or not.
Look at that, man.
8 goals in 14 appearances, 7 in 7.
Look at his shot conversion, 44%.
He's never going to be able to keep that up, is he? This is like CCS, isn't it? But when your confidence is high, though, everything that he seems to hit guns in, right? Yeah. And he's the good thing is when you're confident like that, you're not scared of getting in the areas either. Do you know what I mean?
It was a good finish as well.
Great finish. Great finish.
To be alive to that ball bouncing for him.
I hope. Keep the pressure on. That's it.
Nice, man. Look how high our midfield
Get off your phone. Sorry, John. I'm looking at the comments reading, that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, it's because normally we would have the obviously the laptop with the comments, but because we've got to have it plugged into the camera and the sound mixer and stuff, it's at the other side of the room. We need some extra long cables so that we can reach them in to get it over to here.
Go on.
Or we need somebody sat in the seat that can put them on the screen forward.
Just hit it.
It's in. Oh, thought I was bending in there.
That's not like usual keeper as well, is it? That's not a number one.
That's a good chance. That's unbelievable. Like you've got to sign it, haven't you? But I mean,
even if we can't get him permanently, you've got to pull out the stops just to get him on loan again. Surely.
Yeah, I think they'll get him on loan again.
I think the problem is obviously he's going to be a victim of his own success, isn't he?
Oh, he is. The
fact that he's done so well here is it's done nothing but elevate his reputation. So there's more clubs are going to be interested in them. He's given himself a chance at Arsenal, but more importantly, he's putting that value up. So it just that's a good ball.
Good ball. Drive him.
Get at him.
Go on.
Kraft's getting beyond him as well.
It just makes you go on, Harry. Have a dig.
Well, it was there. Mickey was there. Oh God!
It's because Kraft halted his run, didn't he? He just didn't look.
Just telling them now. I thought you were going to keep going.
I don't know why he didn't have a dig. He normally drives like that, and he'll have a pop.
There were so many on the inside, though. Mickey was there. There was loads inside there,
Alan wants to know how much do you think Willock's worth?
It's a tough one because the player I'm going to say that I feel the price tag's judged against is Joe Linton. Mm-hmm. So closing. Good tackle, though.
We still not in the face.
So it looks like first goal scorer Willock was.
Sorry, happy days. Give him a foul push.
First goal scorer Willock was 12-1.
Really? God. I mean, you've got to be talking 25-30, right? Got to be.
I think that was probably the price Arsenal had on him before he came here on loan.
Yeah.
And
Well, always talked about 20, didn't they?
Yeah, it was 20, wasn't it? So you've got to be talking 30 plus, haven't you?
Yeah,
we ain't paying that. Like.
No.
We ain't paying that. Like.
No way. He has a lot of things going for him, and one of them's that old English premium that's straight in there, so that inflates his price.
Young Englishman, isn't it?
And then you've got the form he's had in the last 8 games, or even during his spell with us in the 7-7. That's going to do no bother to his price. That's going to just make it go up even more.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing is obviously after this season and what COVID's done to the world, money is at a bit of a premium. So whether or not that helps, put a little bit of a ceiling on the price tags and stuff like that.
Aye.
Because there isn't, that massive amount of money sloshing around that there would have been, because they haven't had ticket sales, they haven't had, all of the stuff that they would have had from match day revenue and that kind of thing.
The ball really is in Arsenal's court as well, because if there is that much interest in him, they can set the price at whatever they want it to be, really. And if they need a certain amount of money to be able to have their own transfer kitty for the summer, then what better way for them to do that than to have a prized asset like Willock be transferred out if he's not in Arteta's plans for next season?
It's hard to believe he wouldn't be. The crap them. I'm not being funny, and you've got a player who's bagged 7-7. He's probably scored more than any Arsenal player has in this time.
Definitely.
But if he's not, then fair enough. But there's a lot of people in the comments there saying 25-30, 30 plus. Some people said there. So
that's a nice ball. Go on, son, get there.
Could have back for
Miggy. Go on, Sean's there. Corner.
Miggy's just here.
Yeah, it was. Mind you, that I've said this the last few weeks now, which is nice to say, but we do look dangerous on the break. Like there's so much pace
now, isn't it?
There's loads of pace.
I mean, Longstaff's bombing forward.
He is.
Like he's actually got legs on him today.
Yeah, he is.
So whether that run of a few months of fitness is actually helping him, and he's been able to get up and down the pitch a bit better now.
Probably see that sort of thing in Matty Longstaff as well, when he eventually is able to come back into playing for the first team. You've got to get that game and your match fitness under your belt to keep you going in the long term.
Matty's been a funny one, hasn't he?
He has, especially this season.
Get up. Oh, good ball in.
Looking for Fernandez every time, like, on it.
Just a strong boy, that lad. I think that's that Frank Anguissa.
Well done, Murphy.
I thought you would just let that
Murphy's been a real surprise for me.
Yes.
Real surprise. And I think I'm going to get wrong here. But I am going to get wrong.
Here we go.
But if I'm just going to say it, actually. So do you know, like a lot of times, obviously we all give Bruce, the hard time and all the rest. And that's fine. I'm with that and I understand it, right? But it's quite easy for someone to say, like a player comes in and he goes backwards. And they'll say, a lot of people will probably blame Bruce and Matty Longstaff, for example. They'll say, it's the way he manages them and the way that the fitness is at the club, whatever it might be. But then you've got a player like Murphy who was out on loan for a period of time. He's brought him and he's playing him in a position that's not actually shit. Good block. What's not his position. And he's doing really, really well. So, you've got to credit Murphy for that first, of course you have. But in fairness to Bruce, to play him in that position, and he's doing well and all, isn't he?
He is doing really well.
Well, Bruce obviously had him three seasons ago now, didn't he? Yeah. And he played him there. He played him at right wing back at Sheffield Wednesday.
And that's not his position. So Bruce has seen that and thought there's something there.
Yeah.
Fair comment. Like he was doing well there.
Absolutely.
And then he obviously went to West Brom last season.
I'll check the comments.
Pretty much played in the same position, but again played up on the wing as well. But it's just had a good run of games and a good run of form. And you go back to the season that he signed. I've lost count of the amount of times you wrote him off.
Oh, mate, he went the performances when he came off the bench at St James's. He was like a fan just coming on, running the ball out of play, no confidence whatsoever. But you see, this is the thing, right? And it doesn't happen often enough in football where a player go out on loan and the whole idea they go on loan is to gain confidence, play, get
Yes. Go on, Richie.
and it's worked. In that sense,
It
it's
has,
worked,
yeah.
and that doesn't really often happen where someone goes out on loan. That's normally them done.
Yeah.
But for once,
Unless it's a very young player.
yeah. But for once,
Which he's not. He's not
No,
Wait,
definitely not.
particularly old, is he? But
But yeah, and I think, I suppose, like you just said there with Matty, it's going to be what happens next season. I think is going to be the defining thing for Murphy. Now we've had the first season where he was just coming in off the bench and obviously did his loan spells, and so this is his first proper run he's had in the team. So it'll be interesting to see next season if he goes down the sort of Matty Longstaff path, or if he just builds on and carries it forward, which I really hope he does, because it's nice to have that extra option.
it's a nice.
Although he's not a conventional right wing back, he's very effective in that area, especially when we're going forward.
yeah, 100%. I mean, there's a few games I've seen he's been found out at that position.
Yes.
But that's normally when we're playing.
we're getting a good winger. Yeah.
And that I can live with that sometimes, to be fair. Like, and sometimes people have poor games, right? That's just football. That's life. But generally speaking, since he's came in that position, I kind of go back to Wolves away, I think, and he scored that free kick. He played in that position then.
Yes.
And it was around about that time forward. I think he's been brilliant. Like, I think someone mentioned in the comments the most improved player is him, and I think that's a very fair comment. Like.
He's getting better going backwards as well. His defensive plays obviously improved, and I think maybe that's where sometimes having Kraft in beside of him, because who is more of a recognised right back, that when he does bomb forward, he can just then push out to that side.
Yeah.
Likewise with Dummett and Richie on the other side, they can. If our two fullbacks are pushing on, you've got essentially two other players that historically have played in that position, and I'll drop in and fill in.
I think he's better than Yedlin there. And I really do. I think he's better than
He's
Yedlin.
definitely got more end product than Yedlin ever had, and Yedlin's crossing was a bugbear.
God.
God knows how.
Well, the Sheffield United goal, that doesn't happen if it's Yedlin. That
Aye,
was
true.
on Wednesday or whatever day it was.
Aye, that's true.
Yeah, that just doesn't happen.
Go on,
son.
what a back pass. Go on, take it on.
Get past him, Mickey.
He's not going to, is he?
Just roll him in.
Got caught in his feet.
Did I?
All right.
I expect to see Mickey burst in the gut there to get past him and give him a ball.
Yeah, it was as if
like he just hangs on a bit, doesn't he?
You see, putting his head down there. He's already getting
Just there, go now.
It was as if he thought Saint will not pass anyway. So.
Well, there is that, isn't there? There is that.
Yeah.
Go on, Jay.
Oh.
Way!
That's it. Get out at him. Get out at him. It's a decent ball. That's right. That'll be days.
Jason's there saying that Matty will be 22 next year, so that if we want to use him in the first team, we'll have to include him as part of the 25.
Well, yeah, which I can't see, to be honest. At the minute, I just can't.
I think the problem that's not in his favour is
That's like a Pardew. Remember back in the day with Pardew, where if we conceded first, we'll never ever win again.
27, 25
the thing
defeats.
with Matty is the contract that he signed last season was only for 2 years. So next season is effectively the last year of his contract, and whether or not he gets better offers elsewhere at the end of it, it's all about he needs to have some amazing season next year to either earn a new deal here or prepare yourself to go elsewhere to make his name. And I think
Jesus. 2 attempts to clear out there.
Pinball, isn't it?
oh, there it goes.
3 attempts of to clear out, lads.
Go on. That's it.
Oh, did that clip the stanchion there?
I thought it did, yeah.
Oh,
It's him. I think it's him I meant.
is that him there?
Yeah. He's a good player. Every time I've watched him anyway, he looks a real handful.
We're going to get his name.
I think it's him. I think he had longer hair unless he's cut it off. Oh no, sorry, I totally.
Oh, so it is. It's Anguissa.
Anguissa, that's right. Yes, he looks a decent player.
Powerful, isn't he?
But it's one of them.
Strong.
He may be a bit of a match of a day player where you see highlights over a few minutes and he looks really good.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah, but I thought it looked like it had hit something like it was just the back of the.
I think going back to Matty, I think we'd all love him to have the success that he wants here. But it's as things stand, you just don't know where that's going to come.
Yeah.
I thought he kept it in. He's telling him.
A lot of what happens with the Longstaff rests on whether or not we'll get him, though, doesn't it?
This is the thing, isn't it? We've said this for years about that position. and you have to move on from Sean Longstaff, even Matty Longstaff, Shelby. You need to be progressing to a better standard of player, and Willock's that. Willock is that. Do you know what I mean? I mean, certainly over that's only a small sample size, but he's certainly got it. My worry is slightly is that we'll get him on loan. And he will not continue that for. It's impossible.
Kennedy.
I'm not saying do it, Kennedy, but we have to realise that the lad's not going to score.
If he is next season, you just hope he doesn't get a penalty in the first game. That Cardiff game was an absolute stinker for him, wasn't it? Kennedy?
Really was. But the stat wasn't he hadn't passed a Newcastle shirt in the first half or something, wasn't it? It was just then Mr. Penn and that was a horrific game of football as well. That one.
That was the Hayden turnaround game, wasn't it? Because he got sent off for that tackle.
Oh, was it? He did, didn't he? Yes, he did. Yeah. Similar to the Leicester one, wasn't it?
You know, Hayden, it's a funny one that we haven't really missed him.
Our form's improved. But I've always said about Hayden, and I get wrong all the time. I still don't think he's all. There was people on Twitter saying he should be in the England team and that. England squad. I'm like, come on. He works hard and stuff and all that, but if he was that important, we wouldn't have went on the run we've went on without him.
I think with Hayden in this setup that we're seeing now in front of it, he doesn't necessarily fit because Shelby's the anchor and he's got the passing. Whereas if you played the system we've seen previously, where it's the same formation, you had two ball-playing centre-backs as part of the back three.
Yes.
And we haven't got that now.
No,
so you need Shelby in there. Whereas if you have your two ball-playing centre-backs, you can have Hayden in there as the tackler and the
I
ball
used to
winner.
love them days, you know. With them two playing midfielders. Sorry, apologise, centre-halves, ball-playing.
It's sad, you know, because I really don't think Legion's got a future here while Bruce is in charge.
No, I don't either. No, I definitely don't. No.
Sprayed it in. Cleared it well.
We're coming that way a bit now, aren't they?
Just stave it off for half time, we'll be harried.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few that'll come back off loan as well, won't there?
Mm-hmm.
God.
Well done.
It's just like a brick wall, isn't it? It's just coming straight back that way.
We just kind of get it clear, and it's when we're going like this. I mean, look how deep Shelby and Longstaff were there. They were just on the edge of the box constantly. So I need to just step out a bit, take the game 10 yards further up the pitch.
I think sometimes though it's difficult to do that when they're coming at you like that.
Because
I tell you what, if them scored there and you've seen Shelby and Longstaff 10 yards further up the pitch, you'd be gone. You say, where the fuck are you? So you've got to, sometimes it's not that easy.
If you look here, we are switching constantly between a 5 and a 4 at the back because now we've got Dummett there playing at left back.
That's nice.
And
Murphy's got to be pushed. There he is. See, this is where it works really well. That's a ball!
Longstaff in there as well.
So you've seen there where Dummett had switched out to left back.
We play with 4 false 10s.
Hey, could be. Dear me.
What
ball.
Dear me.
Calm. So
that's it. Nice and easy.
Because it's Willock that's sitting back there with Shelby now and Longstaff's gone up, but then
the midfield changes so much, which is so nice because I've said this sometimes. Certainly a few years ago, you could close your eyes. And if you told us where we were on the field, I know we'd have the ball because it was just everyone was static. Whereas I do feel sometimes now the players that we are moving around a bit more fluid.
Yeah,
just drop into there, Shelby. Look at that! Look, just drop into there.
You're exactly right. That's exactly how you want it to see. You need that dynamism in midfield. You need everybody to flow around and switch.
Yeah. It's harder for them to mark you. Isn't it?
It's like when we had that great debate at the first part of the season there when we're thinking about who would play behind Wilson as part of, for example, a 4-2-3-1. You'd want a Miggy, a Saint and a Fraser at the time to play behind him and for them to just be able to switch around at any point during the game and fill each other's gaps.
Yeah.
Because then the opposition wouldn't know who and where to mark.
Well, you want to fill all 3 of their gaps, do you? I mean, I like them, but I don't know how much I like them that much. Go on, get away. Carry it. Go on, keep going.
Go on, son.
Off the left.
All the best, Saint.
Go on. He's away.
Nice.
There's only one in the box,
Oh, look, 3 on the edge, though. Nice touch that on it.
Yeah, it was.
Do not laugh.
Just punt it with your toe. That's it.
Outside the foot, that was.
Yeah.
Right, get it in.
from there.
Go on, overlap and done it. Go on, son.
Oh,
Yes, go on. Ah. Really? Get in.
Oh,
Just in.
go on.
Dean.
Oh, the cameraman must be hanging right over there.
Oh, God, I hate to be up there.
Yeah, Gary just said here, I'm still holding out hope that Bruce walks away after today after achieving his goal.
Nah, I can't see it like.
Nah.
Someone, actually, Ryan Burrows has said Hendrick out of the squad and Matty in. Or Matty on loan, Matt out on loan. And then
Hendrick, aye. There's another one. Was he not on like a 3-year deal or something?
I think he did sign a 3-year deal. Like.
And I think this one's the most obvious one ever, but with Nuno leaving Wolves, would you have him instead of Bruce?
1,000,000%.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think he's got Spurs, but yes, I agree.
You reckon he's got Spurs?
I just have a feeling. So. Oh, well.
Oh, sorry about that being deafened there by Decker.
Yeah. I mean, Mike doesn't believe it.
You might nearly passed out at the thought of that.
Oh, it's the wire, Dick. There we go.
Nice.
That was lovely, that.
Outside of
Go on, hold him
That's
on.
a foul ref away.
That's
You
it.
see, you know what it is, right? I know I'm going to defend him again here, but Shelby, right? Did you see him there on the edge of the one box there? Like how calm he was when he got the ball. That is probably the one thing that I like about him.
Mm-hmm.
Is he like if Longstaff got it there, I'd be shitting myself. But when Shelby gets it, I'm pretty calm because he is pretty cool on the ball. Like you know what I mean?
You don't often.
Sometimes too much though.
Nah, I don't ever worry. Like honestly, I
He
don't.
doesn't often get that. Time
That's when I
space,
worry.
though.
Here, that's a good ball actually. If he's on side, like
Hit
it's
it!
a brilliant ball.
Oh,
He's
I
right-
should
he's
let
right-
that bounce
he's
once and
right
hit it.
Oh, there's no way either.
Again, that's an issue with no striker. Even Joe Linton would have been up there at that point. Not saying that would have happened, but he would have been up there. Sorry for the Joe fans there.
But he's been afforded the time and space in the game today. It's like being back in the championship with this today. He
It is,
ran
yeah.
games in the championship by having that time and space.
I mean, he's even been going in the Baresi role, playing sweep and centre half for some games. I mean, Christ, what's happening
He's
there?
doing a fair few bit.
He has done it a fair bit, yeah. Which that's when I worry. He did it against Liverpool, and I was like, "Well, there's issues here." Like. But to be fair, you know,
Tobias there, the only place Bruce walks is straight to Grace. So
the kebab shop.
right.
Yeah, yeah, he's definitely not walking away like at all.
He's got no reason not to see out the last year of his contract, which is probably the only positive thing to take from it. Is that next season's his last year, unless
I'm worried about what he'll say after the game in the sense of
You know he wants that points total, doesn't he? He wants to.
Yeah, he probably does.
That's all he's bothered about, but so that he can talk about the great Rafa.
Aye.
Yeah, and I also think he'll be almost wanting to put two fingers up of like, well, none of you thought I could keep you up. All of you thought we're going to go down. And ironically, we'll finish 13th.
It's half time.
So that's me worried. Like, but
That's a good half then. We've got the goal that we needed.
yeah, it was
Actually,
it wasn't too bad. To be fair as a game, it wasn't too bad. We're hanging on a bit towards us as the game went on, but we just looked dangerous on the break. Every time we seem to break forward, you know.
That's attractive, Joe.
Yeah, it was.
But yet again, little Joe comes up with the goods.
Yeah, at least we've got one Joe that scores.
Callum Lewis agrees with me there that this game needs a striker. That's what it's missing.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a couple on the bench. It could be if big Andy comes on, it'll be potentially his last game as well because he's out of contract in the summer.
Aye.
I think if you do bring a striker on, though, it's like who would you bring off? Because you can certainly see the style and the way we're trying to play. Whereas I feel because he's obviously got Saint and Miggy, hasn't he? Kind of up there, and Longstaff almost joining as a 3 at times.
He could do. He could really be brave and go with a back 4 and take Kraft off. I mean, even though Kraft's had a pretty good first half, by all accounts.
I would personally just keep it the way it is. And do you know what, one thing I will say? I'm very pleased that they've went back to 3 centre halves in the wing backs. We are a better team that way. I mean, I know we've all wanted to go to 4 at the back, and as you mentioned before, 4-2-3-1 with Wilson and Fraser in the team, and that was the dream, right? That was what we thought would. But I just don't think we're capable of moving to back 4. Like,
Aye, we've got to say thanks to Jason Hobby there for the there goes Les.
You need to buy one less.
Jason there with the £5 super chat there. So thank you very much, Jason, and we'll have a few cans when we get the 3 points this afternoon. Absolutely.
Once I'm home watching the golf from my feet up. Sorry, Lisa, if you're watching now, I'll have a bit of times first. Sorry, I'll watch the golf.
I'll jump out with there and see how the other games are doing at half time. So we've got Villa 1-0 with Chelsea. Oh, hey, Chelsea are buggering up here.
What's the score?
1-0 Villa.
Is it?
It is.
Wow.
Hang on, we'll go into this probably. Sorry for not looking at the camera there, guys. I'm just going to get this up on the phone so we can never see what's going on. Bertrand Traore scoring in the 43rd minute there. Leeds 2-0 up against West Brom now with goals from Rodrigo and Calvin Phillips. He's probably one of the ones to watch out for that England squad in a couple of days' time, I would think. And then Arsenal are 0-0 at Brighton. Leicester and Spurs are level now. So you had Jamie Vardy with a penalty, and then Harry Kane for Spurs. Probably his last goal in a Spurs shirt if he doesn't get another one. Man City 2-0 up against Everton with Kevin De Bruyne and Jesus with 2 goals in 3 minutes. Liverpool 1-0 up on Palace by Sadio Mane. Sheffield United have beaten Burnley. I didn't think that would happen, and that's from a David McGoldrick goal in the 42nd minute. West Ham are 2-0 up on Southampton. 2 goals from Fornals, and the Wolves Man United score is Wolves 1, Man United 2. Juan Mata's just put them into the lead there at the end of the first half.
So what I've got by here, if this is a live league table, I've got Liverpool third on 69 points. Chelsea and Leicester are level, but it's goal difference, that's the difference.
And it's Chelsea's better.
So Chelsea's is better, so Leicester would have to score another 2.
And maybe it's Chelsea conceding another one.
It's a bit of an ask, really, isn't it? I thought that if Chelsea just didn't win and Leicester did, Leicester are winning, aren't they?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, no, sorry, Leicester are currently drawn.
Oh, drawn, so that's why. Sorry, so that's why
Yeah.
they're not in. Right, got you. So if they do happen to, yeah.
So where does that put us at the minute, did you say?
I believe we're 13th, but 13th we are, just behind, same points as Wolves. Man, yeah, the gap between Villa's on 55, we're on 45. They're one place higher than us. That gap is just unreal, isn't it?
See, we were talking about progression for next season earlier. That's where we want to be. We want to be on the other side of that gap.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
By hook or by crook, I don't care. I just don't want to have to go through another.
Gets you into that top half, doesn't it? That's it.
Get
up into them realms.
Because you look at Everton are 10th, Leeds 9th. Like,
Everton are a funny one because they've had a strange season, haven't they?
They were top. They were up the top until about mid-October, and then it's just went to shit.
Yeah, it has.
When Pickford started,
because I don't think
them in the back of his men and all sorts. I
don't think we're that much better than
obviously we turned them over as well, didn't we?
Aye.
Hungry me like any hungry.
There'll be some snacks in the drawer.
Can't try and go. I might be back on my diet now. Like,
scrambled the Sunday dinner before I come over. So
I picked this out of the fridge there. It's alcoholic drink. I didn't realise. I thought it was good.
Yeah, it's
doing a good job in
Aldi's version of Kronenberg.
4.6%. How many can I have there? I'm driving.
It's just got the units on the back.
330, like 3 of them.
1.5 units.
Like just over a pint and a half, won't it? Pint and a half.
Oh, you grab this one, please. If you don't mind.
What am I like, you sniff?
No. Used to love that video, by the way.
The highlights are just showing you what an end-to-end game it's been like.
Oh, aye.
Both teams did have they didn't have any real. You leave that microphone alone.
It's the wire. No, I'm not touching the mic. It's when I kick the wire.
They didn't have. They didn't have any real clear-cut chances, did they? That really tested with.
I don't think this is our goal.
Look where he comes from with that run, man.
Yeah.
I honestly thought he's blown it there. He just had to roll it, but like, how lucky does he get?
I'll tell you what, that flick up,
it's a good finish.
The way it flicks up, it just sits perfectly for him to smash it the way he does.
This type of thing here happens to someone when they're 6 and 6.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, if that's Joe Linton who hasn't scored in 10 years, that ball doesn't bounce for him. It's just,
Lovely view from behind the shot.
Megs him as well.
Great strike, that.
But he just before he gets that, he just needs to roll that into Longstaff, and he's straight through on goal. Or if not, the defender's bringing him down for a penalty.
Well, 90 times to clear this one.
It was just deflection after deflection, though, wasn't it? Yeah. And then it just hits the back of the goals. Just want to get that little yard light with the touch.
Hey, we haven't heard much of you since Wednesday, so Do you want to give us a flavour when you come back about how nice it was to be back in the ground?
Oh, God, aye.
A couple of, you get as a kind of, what a legend there. A couple of questions here. So, Wolves now losing. We need a couple more to go to 12th. If we go to 12th, if we've got a couple more goals. We've got one from Alan, which I thought, who would you guys realistically expect Newcastle to get in for next season? I can have three, can
I? Realistically, in terms of potential budget, I don't know how many permanent signings we could probably make.
Well, yeah, so just to clarify there's rumours that the budget is 12 million, isn't there?
Yeah.
Well, that's rumours, but my God, 12 million doesn't get you much, does it?
It doesn't make it. Really doesn't.
Yeah.
You're gonna free up a bit of space because you're gonna have long. Carroll's going to be out of contract. Mm-hmm. He'll be away. I know he's not on a massive amount of money, but because he was on, a bit of a pay-as-you-play kind of deal.
Yeah.
Muto, Survey.
Well, I think isn't Survey's contract finally up?
God, oh my God.
Survey, Atsu. These are the people that are just hanging around there in the background.
As a football club? Yeah. It's got to be what? 5-6 million?
Lejeune as well.
I mean, what's he on? What's his weekly wage?
He's got to be about 30, isn't it? 25,000, 30 grand?
If not, maybe he's a bit more.
I think he's on a bit more than that. Football Manager. Football Manager, of course, is correct. So,
Gayle obviously got an extension to his contract, so he's going to still be around. But to be fair, I'm hoping they just signed him up on a contract to give him a little bit of
a value,
a transfer fee, bit of value there to go. So
who's this on? And Gayle, sorry,
Gayle.
Okay.
So you do need to strengthen up front. A bit of backup for Wilson.
100%.
You cannot rely on the midfield getting as many goals as they have, especially when one of them might not be here.
What I think for me, it's more so. I know that people say, "Who could you get in?" I do struggle with names. To say this is who we should bring in. Mm-hmm. I do struggle with that, to be honest. But I think position-wise, we're definitely need another striker. Because if anything happens to Wilson, and I still have a worry about his fitness, to be honest. I think, he's outstanding. We all know he is. But if we lose him, we also can't have two Callum Wilsons either. We aren't good enough. Like Tottenham have had that problem for years, right? That if they lose Kane, they haven't got anybody else, and that's Tottenham. They admit that they are bigger than us, but they are. So I don't know. I would probably, if it was possible, get rid of Carroll and Gayle.
Yeah. And
even Joe Linton. And round them funds up and try and get two strikers in. Maybe one that's, really not worried about getting minutes. Mm-hmm. And then another striker that will be pushing Wilson as much as he can to start.
Yeah.
That's too ideal, and we aren't ideal. So
that's it. I think you've got to start looking at it's perfectly reasonable in the way that the club's being run at the minute is to consider how we're hearing that this budget's 12 million. You're going to have to use some of that budget of 12 million to factor in if you can afford certain loan deals for players. So you've got to then turn to the free market. And I know I've seen a name bandied around. It's been mentioned in the chat there. It was Andros Townsend's available on a free.
Yes, I've seen that.
Yeah. Quite a few of the Palace players are available because they're coming out of contract. So it'll be interesting to see which of their crop that become available will be of interest to us. But Townsend...
actually, to be fair, Williams... he's come back in the mix of a free, right? Mm-hmm. Would you take Williams on a free?
On a free, I think I would. I think I would also maybe try and push him to a similar deal to what Andy Carroll's on and having his pay as a play, just with the injury.
And do you think then, what you just said there about Carroll, do you think he'll stay because it'll be pay as you play? Because he said he's going to talk to them, didn't he, next week? I wonder if it'll be like, we'll give you a $5 and a kebab if you... Do you know what I mean?
I think that'll depend if the interest and the appetite's there from the club. Because what have the clubs seen in the last 2 years to suggest that it's worth continuing?
Off the pitch, he's
there's no doubt
all that kind of thing, is he?
So haven't seen the Instagram video from the other day with Callum Wilson doing his bits and bobs in the gym suite there at the training.
Andrew said Fraser, obviously, we'll have to incorporate him. You would expect.
Yes.
Which is a good comment.
I know Steve Bruce isn't happy about him being selected for that Scotland squad, is he?
No, I wouldn't be either. I'm going to go.
I was amazed he
I was.
He was in it, like, to be fair, but
This isn't a Michael Owen situation in a sense, but it's similar, right? That you've got a player who's never played for so long and then walks away from playing national. It's not on, really.
obviously Tony and Armstrong are names that just won't go away.
They aren't
because of the sell-on
again
with
this potential rumour transfer budget. I mean, 12 million might just get you everything, but Adam Armstrong's right foot. Even with the 4%
but you've got that discount side of things. So, to be fair, I wouldn't want Armstrong. I don't think Armstrong is built for the Premier League. Whereas Tony, I think he's got more about him to be a Premier League striker. He's got that physicality and presence and stuff like that.
He might get there of his own accord, though. He might not have to bother even consider leaving Brentford to get into.
That's it. But I don't know. Armstrong, he looks great at that level, but it's, as we know, it's a big step up.
It is.
Neil's come in there. He says there's about 14 Sunderland players out of contract. They can stay down in League One for me, Neil, mate. Tell you.
Yes, it is.
You know, I couldn't even.
Hey, it was fabulous. You know, I'm going to be really honest. I shouldn't say this, right? I shouldn't. I couldn't sit down. You know, I swear to you. Honestly, I'm not even trying to be funny or whatever or sarcastic. I couldn't sit down. My chest, man. It felt like a derby day, like, that's how I feel. And I swear, I was telling my dad before I come and I said, like, God, what were you like? He went, I couldn't stand it. My chest. I was like, that's exactly how I felt. And then when it was just unbelievable. And then that kid, what's it, Hotline? Scoring that goal, Shearer's style celebration. It was just outstanding, man.
That was funny.
Shitheads are the finest order, I tell you.
The best bit was for me though was that video of after the game. Oh, when obviously the fans are having a go at the manager, and the bit where I was absolutely creased.
I thought that was an unedited version of the new series of the documentary.
But it's exactly the same with Coleman, wasn't it? When he calls him a prick, and he went, "Oh, I'm a married father of 6." That's like the most random thing ever.
What does he say? Because he says something about Charlie White, doesn't he?
It's a Charlie Mike. He's
divvy or something. He's a divvy.
He told us to fuck off the big divvy. That absolutely creased. I was honestly, I had tears running down my face like laughing.
Outstanding.
Just when they think they can't get any better, and they just come up with stuff like that one is fantastic.
Unreal. That was just also that Netflix clip. There's one guy, honestly, smug face. If we were playing Burton Albion every him, that guy. But the two lasses are bad enough. But that clip is just aged so well, hasn't it? Like so.
That wasn't Netflix. That was.
Wasn't it?
No, it was the Irish what's it? HITV or something like that. I thought that was Netflix. Yeah, it's the Irish kid off Twitter and YouTube that did like a little short documentary kind of thing.
Oh, right. Oh, well. But anyway, it's still amazing.
How little are them shin pads, man? Jesus. I remember when I was playing the frigging school, it was the size of the whole half of my leg.
The ones I used to have, well, before I moved to that style, but you know, they'd have these like balls on the bottom.
That's the ones I had.
On the angle pads.
They used to always get twisted. Mine, I used to have to like pop them back round, and then would. Oh, you were going out there like Iron Man. So it was unreal. And then now, as you say, they use things like that. Well, was it Calvert-Lewin that scored? And they were like, everyone was taking the piss. It looked like little plasters. And he was like, yeah, he got players that as well. He's a good player.
We've been slating him for his performances this season. So
we're just about to kick off for the second half. So again, if you're wanting to match up with your time, he's got the ball at his feet. Fulham to kick off. Referee's just doing a little time check. Loftus-Cheek's had a little jog across the pitch.
Charlie White called me a divvy.
That was just one. And we're back underway now. So here we go, second half. So only a change for Fulham. Loftus-Cheek on.
Callum is asking the question there, and it's a player that we've been linked with before he moved to Fulham, is we would take Joe Bryan.
I haven't seen enough of him, if I'm honest, to give a real.
I think if anything, this season's probably proven that he might not necessarily be up to scratch for this division. I think under a different head coach than the one that we've got now, maybe he would be something that you could work with. But we need people who are going to come in who are going to be effectively ready-made.
If you kind of play for a coach like Scott Parker, what hope have you got playing for a coach like Steve Bruce?
Yeah, but yeah, I get what you're saying. And I've got nothing against Scott Parker, nothing. But it is a funny one that everyone loads him, and he's won how many games this season? 4? Is it 4? Like, and everyone loads him. It's a strange one. That's what I'm saying.
It's the way that he plays and the way that he goes about, and
sounds like a perfect as well, doesn't he? Spurs, that
looks like a Thunderbird. Yeah, no, I'll give you that. I see him as like, yeah, I do. Yeah. No, I've got no against Parker. I didn't want to make it sound as having a go there. I just mean it's a strange one how everyone seems to be so positive about him, and he's won as many games as I have.
Yeah, I've seen that video as well, Tom. The Charlie White Children of the Night song. Dear me.
Not worth a watch. You've not seen it.
It's unbelievable. But at the start of the video, like when it comes on, I thought he was actually going to like burst into tears. Like I thought it must have been like filmed like just after the game or something like that, and he was about to go on a rant, and he just then starts
great ball
singing, if you can call it that.
There's a space he's got there.
Go on, mate, lad.
Away.
Who's backstick?
Well, there. Away.
Corner. No, throw it.
Tell you what, that position right there, that reminds me of the Jose Perez's back heel.
Oh, right, yes, West Brom, yeah.
Flashing it across the near post.
The two things I remember Hatton Ben Arthur's goal at this end, and I remember Colaccini hitting the bar from a corner where I think he headed it from outside the box. We tried that corner and we're like lost it at Liverpool. I'm sure he just headed it, hit the bar.
Oh.
Was that Willock struggling? He was struggling when he went off, didn't he? He was limping.
He's done something. You might have just overstretched yourself.
Well, that takes 5 million off him.
No, he's done.
No, he's gone down.
Oh, he's on the floor. 10 million off him now.
He's pulled something, I think.
He's got his hip rub there for a second.
Are you sure?
Now he's going into his stomach, groin. Can't quite see where
sure it's not the top of his leg.
Balls, isn't it? He's been whacking the balls, hasn't he? Because if that was a groin injury, you wouldn't be whacking around.
That's a very top.
I give him a chance.
But it didn't seem to be. He just seemed to be standing there, and then
his dick might have whacked off his ball.
Well, mustn't have his jock strap on. He's got like some loose fitting boxers.
Oh, there he is, man. He's out right now.
He's out right now.
That's all right.
So he might just whap these left and off. Oh no, he's bent over again.
If he's took a big hoof in the old jewels, like
if Sky are generous, they might give her a replay, but I don't think they will.
I see. He seems to be holding it. It's like he's lower stomach, isn't it?
Well, there's some.
I hope he hasn't got cramp in his side. Jesus Christ!
Oi!
I know what that's like. I tell you.
Get it, dudes. That's it.
Don't John draw that. That's great. That wasn't even there. Callum Lewis has just said, do you think Richie will have one more season with us, or has he gone in the summer? And he has said he wants to end his career at Portsmouth.
Portsmouth?
Yeah, he does. He's a Portsmouth boy, so he said that in an interview we did on a podcast last year with Cy Ferry. Is that he's got unfinished business there, and that's he wants to end his career.
I can see it now. Playoff final next year or something, or the year after. I see it.
Portsmouth
against Richie. I can just see it now.
Imagine. I think with the age he is now, I think if we can keep him for next season and then say, you know, if you give him one more year and then we'll let you go, or blessings or whatever.
Yeah,
that's probably a good way to do it.
I think
they'll still be there season after next. You know?
Well, let's hope so, mate. I think they'll. Yeah, I'd like to think we'll keep him for one more year. Yeah, I do. I think we can. Yeah, I think we can.
I think he'll stay.
It's finding somebody to take over his mantra when he goes.
Nobody was happy when he was linked to leave last time. He was linked to go, and there was strong rumours.
It's every year, man. Yeah. Every year he's linked with a move away and wanting him going back to Bournemouth and stuff like that. And wait, concentrate.
That's all right.
That's all right.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely get one more year out of him. Right?
So there's a lot of comments that Ashley's in attendance at the match as well.
Just seen that, yeah. Well, I suppose it's not that far, is it, from his digs?
Is it Hampshire or Middlesex or somewhere out that way there? That he is, isn't it?
Aye. He's probably got a pad in West London, like.
Can you imagine Twitter if you had turned up with Stavely? Like Stavely was sitting there.
He imagine.
Can you imagine? Can you just imagine? It would have just exploded, wouldn't it?
I think we would have broke Twitter.
And just sitting there, like, just doing lines of coke and that. Just throwing money
Like the
around.
lad at Eurovision
I was
last
going
night.
to say, did you put something last night about, was it Italy?
Aye.
The Italian?
I did look like
The
it was.
Italian team, but Italian singers were doing lines.
He said he wasn't, but it's very suspicious.
It looked like it, like, didn't it? It did look like it. He got asked as well in the interview directly afterwards.
Did he?
Directly afterwards, he was sitting and they went, congratulations on winning. Did you have a line of coke? Literally, it was like that. And he was like, no, I don't do drugs. And I was like, I bet you did, man.
I'm not going to lie, I didn't think they deserved to win it. Yeah, there was at least 2 better songs than theirs.
Well, I will be fair, I didn't see a single thing, but other than that, what I've just said.
The surprising one for me was the Romanian one, and it was just she was just shouting for a minute and a half or whatever. It was like
How bad was England then to get 8 points?
Oh,
Was it that
they
bad?
hate one, man.
Do you know what I said? Because I didn't watch it, but, well, I tell a lie, I started watching the points at the end because you were all talking about it in the group. I think we were the only ones not watching it there.
I was watching the golf.
But like I said, I think it was. Is it not just because of Brexit they didn't give any points? Because how can we be in the Eurovision when we're not even in Europe?
That's a fair comment like that. But what was the song bad or what?
Yeah,
Oh,
it wasn't the best.
Who
I've heard it on the radio and it's all right. I mean, it's not.
It's probably better.
It's better on the radio, like beans.
It's better on the radio.
But Julie wants a time check. So Julie, we are at 52 minutes and 40 seconds. 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. So 52 minutes and 50.
Matt Ritchie down.
That's a good time to go to Neil GR as well. So Neil GR asked about Ritchie. So we mentioned just before there the fact that the attitude and everything that Ritchie brings to the team. If he does leave, who's next in line as our most passionate player?
That's the question. I don't even think we've got anybody as rad as him.
Well, the problem is that the bar is Richie, and like it's hard. Like there is no one like him. Do you know what I mean? So it's
Hayden?
Nah.
He's a bit of a shouter and pointer, isn't he? Not as obviously like Declan's just said. There's nobody like Ritchie, but
I'd say Carroll when he's on the field.
what's that, Carroll?
When he's on the field, never shuts up, does he? He's always bringing someone and they go to the ref for. But
Wilson is as well a bit.
No, yes, and Wilson has that element of shithousery to him, doesn't he?
yeah, it's lovely. Like it's really good. I like that.
So it could be Wilson for me.
What was the question again? Sorry, just say it again.
Who's next in line as the most passionate player?
Most passionate. Fernandez. It's a tough one, like, isn't it? Really,
It really is.
I would have to say Carroll, like, but again, he doesn't play much.
See if anybody's come up with an answer in there. If you've got an answer for yourselves, guys, pop it in the chat more. Because we're struggling, yeah.
But that just goes to show you that it's not just the player that you have to replace. It's what they also bring to the team, isn't it?
Absolutely. I tell you what, though, the lads won't miss it when he slaps them on the head when they score, like, or kicks them up the arse.
Maybe that's why Matty Longstaff hasn't been in the team for a while. He's been out with concussion for so long.
Yeah. I tell you what, the corner flags will have a party and all on their own.
Oh, sorry. Can you get hold of this ball, lads?
Well, it's corner flags. Joe Willock decided to give the Gallagher corner a kick on Wednesday night when he scored.
He sent it into someone's bollocks.
He jumped up in the corner and 2-footed the flag.
Yes, aye.
So give it a little flick. So a couple of shouts in there for Dubravka.
Oh, Willock. Oh, no, Willock.
Oh, dear me.
Wow.
That is horrendous there.
That's why they're doing it. Because they can't score goals.
You could see an away and singing that straight away.
Willock, just got...
What's Joe thinking there, man? He has to be scoring that.
Oh, it's terrific.
Yeah, I mean, or at least hit the target, make the keeper save it.
Minimum. Yeah, minimum.
Jesus.
That's why they're down, because they cannot score.
Look at his reaction there, man.
Yeah, me.
Hey.
Right, that's another couple of million off Willock's price as well for that pass.
I wouldn't sign him now.
Hey.
Mark Smith's just said the same as well.
What, he wouldn't sign him?
Well, no, price tag's just dropped.
Right.
Stick your head in. Right.
Well, one for you there, Decker. Callum Lewis, do you think it's time to part ways with Shelby?
I don't mind him as much as the rest of us, but the one thing I've consistently said, in order for us as a football team to progress, we'll have to change the centre midfield. So that means yes. I think we won't probably, but I mean, we'll have to really, to progress.
I mean, you look at that core there now. You've got Shelby and Hendrick. That core's what, 5-6 years old now.
What Hayden? You mean Hayden?
Yeah, sorry,
Hayden. Yeah. That's the point I make very regularly. Is that it's the same as the championship season, and he's done well there. Like,
he's really piling the pressure on now, like, aren't they?
Go Brock, don't let that Ravers out there. He was
PD3.
But the partnership between Hayden and Shelby's aging too much. You've got the players in there as well, and not to discredit them all, because some of them are still doing quite well now. But the likes of your Lascelles and your Kieran Clarks, we're still over 60% championship squad.
Yeah, I agree. What's your thoughts on Lascelles? Because I'm not convinced.
I'm with you there. I think he's.
I don't. Do you know what it is? I don't want to not like him either.
He might have been offside there as well.
Pass forward, was it? God, it's a bad, isn't it?
I think you're right. Like it's you don't want to dislike him, but there's just
he wants to play.
Yeah,
he's a good leader. It looks like. I just don't think he's good enough.
He's limited, isn't he?
Yeah, he
is. But
that was nice.
He does bring a bit of, at times organisation and a bit of grit.
Aye. I mean, if we were going in against a side with aerial threat, the two players I'd want in there would be Lascelles and Dummett.
He's a horse for courses, isn't it? Yeah. And I think but if you have anyone likes of an Aguero, or who wouldn't want to play it? But that's a bad example to me. But like a Vardy, or someone that's willing to run at you.
Yeah.
Christ, it's the last person you want. It's Lascelles on laughing.
The thing is, like we were saying before, though, with the formation that we're playing, that was a bit naughty, wasn't it?
Just shoved him aside there.
We desperately need to get hold of this ball.
With the formation we play, I think Lascelles struggles massively on that right-hand side, because he can't then drop over and cover the way that Kraft does.
In a 3, see, when he was all right under Rafa, was when we had back to what Darryl said about the two ball playing midfield. You had him in
the middle, didn't you? And on either side.
He was in the middle and then on either side, and it worked well.
Because all he's got to do then is defend.
Yeah, he had a falling out with Rafa over it, didn't he? Because he wanted to be in the middle. He wanted to be in the middle of the 3, and Rafa didn't want to put him there to start with.
Yeah.
He wanted him on the right hand side, so he kicked off, and he got dropped for about 5 or 6 games, I think.
I always remember the game. I can't remember who was it. Was it Watford at home? And Lascelles got injured, and then Shelby got injured. Championship, I'm sure it was. And I thought, we're doing here, and they brought Shea on and Keon, and they were just
very good that game.
Unreal Key was, who I didn't like, to be honest with you, as a whole, but on that particular game and that period of time. But I just think it is them type of players where if you're wanting to, we always talk about progression as a football club and changing our manager and changing this and changing everything. You've got to change the cells. You've got to change Shelby. Really, you just have to. Otherwise, you'll always be what we are.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't like to say that, because I still think Shelby, over the time he's been here since the championship era, hasn't been that bad. I know a lot of Mark that hates him, and there's a lot of other people who don't like him.
I don't hate him.
I wouldn't say I like him either.
He frustrates us.
There's a lot of things about his game that pisses off a bit, but you don't want to. You don't really want to hate anybody in the shirt. It's like
I didn't even hate Iosi Perez.
I will bet.
I just disliked him.
Christ.
But going to that Shelby point, though, like you say, Yes, he needs to leave.
Oh, touch.
What a touch that
dear
is.
me.
Oh, he's in
Go
the
on.
middle. Free
Too soft.
I could have sent him back in there.
It's all right saying get rid of him, but you have to replace him, and that's the.
Yeah, I agree, and I keep saying the same kind of argument as that. Mentioned. Who would you bring in? I do struggle with names sometimes to think who we could attract for the money available.
Yeah.
So if you got rid of Shelby, could you get someone in better than him? Could we get someone that runs more? Yes, 100%, 100%. Even though last week, Mark, I was the top order. But anyway, but
Not for running, moving.
I don't know. There's just no way that under Bruce will get rid of Shelby. I mean, he's got him as skipper. He plays every game.
You can ask
Every game.
You can ask the question about any part of the club at the minute. If we get rid of Bruce, who's going to come in to work under Ashley?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's the same thing that runs throughout, and like you say, you're absolutely right. It's we're all keen to see new players come in the squad, like regenerate and things like that. But it's like, if people leave, can we trust ourselves and trust the club to bring in a replacement that's going to do that?
Well, funny you say that. I was out with my mate earlier on with the Bairns, right? And that's for our children. Sorry, we're not chasing Bairns. I mean, out with our own kids. And he said he would sell Saint for 70, 80 million and reinvest that in the team, in the squad. And I just have zero trust in who would bring in.
That's what the Carroll money was supposed to do. We still haven't spent that.
Yeah, I feel we'll pocket some of it and maybe buy likes of. I'll point at Bournemouth just off the top of my head. Jordan Ibe and what was it? Was it
Solanke?
Solanke, sorry.
You've busted 50 million there on that type of quality, and that's my worry that we would do that. So we'll just keep saying fair enough. Thanks very much.
It's been very frantic, this, isn't it?
Well, it's Fulham have really great.
No,
they really have. Yeah.
We cannot just get out of our half, really.
God, Villa's 2 up now,
Yeah.
Leicester's 2-1 up now, so that means there will be in the Champions League, won't there?
Aye.
Wow.
Yeah, Chelsea blew it.
What happens if Man City win the Champions League? What happens to that place? Does that not go to 5th place? I don't know.
Because you can still only have 4, can't you? So we get an extra Europa League place.
Yeah.
Oh, got you. Okay.
But then Leicester have already got that because they won the cup. So it's how it works out, aye?
Yeah.
So effectively, as things stand, Chelsea will have to win the Champions League if they want to play in it next year.
Oh, that's in. Oh. How are you lads waking up a bit, man? You're just inviting this on.
Because didn't that happen? Was it the last time Liverpool won it? And they won it, and somebody who finished, somebody had finished 4th and they couldn't play in the next season because Liverpool won it but didn't finish in the top 4. That's the.
Got you, mate.
Here he comes.
Oh, he has that kid that's going to relegate.
He's going to relegate, wasn't he? Yeah.
Josh. Another one who I think is just on loan as well.
It's funny when you think back like that, because that's one name I do remember from the Sunderland squad, obviously from Netflix. The way that played out, and he could have went on to have a very good career, like, couldn't he?
Aye.
But went chasing the money, and
his agent went
to France, and it didn't work out for him, did it?
Oh, there goes.
God bless you.
He has had a quiet half, like, to be fair. We just couldn't get him into the game.
No, couldn't at all.
He's done really well to hold the ball up in the central row, like, throughout the game. See if he can get considering how the game's played out so far, Gale should definitely be getting a goal or 2 at least out of this half. That's when Fulham on doing stuff like this.
We need the midfield too. I mean, praising them all first half, but now they're just getting overrun.
Oh, well, if he did sign for them, then fair enough, I do stand corrected. But I thought he was one of the ones that was just brought in on loan.
Well, 4 players straight away onto Willock there. Definitely a foul. That's always complaining about. He trips him.
We now have light behind us. Courtesy of Chris Wallace. Just take the switch on.
I know I put this one on before, but I couldn't.
That's a free kick as well. That's a good position, this.
It's me. It's the first time I've been this far forward. You need to just take the time here.
Do you reckon against the same barber as Lazaro? That's a high line from them, though, isn't it? Pushing us right out.
So you were talking to us before we started there, Decker, about the kits and how good these are. Are you looking forward to a new kit sponsor for next season?
100%. Aye, 100%. I'd say a lot of people say Puma's has been shit throughout. I don't think it's been terrible, but
they've had some crackers. Puma, I will give them that credit. Like, they've had some really good ones. Go on.
That's a good. That's a free header. That.
what?
Right, dear, you should be burying that.
Such a good chance that he has.
Yeah, God.
That is so
That's a free header plumbing in front of goal. Oh, dear me. Put it back where it's come from.
He's just got under it too much.
Yeah.
I
love the look of their gear. I mean, the Rangers stuff's tremendous, and they seem to try, from what I've seen, to like make things a little bit sort of special for the club they're with, so that they'll like
slightly
they look at the past kits, don't they? And go into,
and it's like,
this is obviously Castor that we're talking about because
Castor,
it's obviously been rumoured for the majority of this season that they'll be taking over.
It's still not official, is it? It's crazy.
No. Well, Wolves, us and Wolves, the story broke at the same time that they'd be taking over, and Wolves have released their kit, pictures of it in the last couple of days.
They'll probably be wearing it today. It's
going to be Well, you would have. Generally, we normally do for that last game of the season as well, we're getting a bit of a buffer. But you just think that everybody knows it's been signed and done, hasn't it? It's just you're waiting for that final tick on to get the ink to dry on the contract.
Something
to
on the
show that we can do
it. Yeah, I've seen that. So we've had a bit of a technical difficulty.
Oh, there we go.
We're back now. But this means you'll probably be ahead of us now.
Yeah, we had a pause.
So just for a quick time check, I can't now because Mark's pressing on the button.
He's fiddling with it.
What are you trying to do?
It's buffering again.
You should have just left it where it was.
We're both Bagwell, I'm afraid.
Both Daddy.
Do you press a button there to do that? Didn't believe you.
He went to fast forward to catch the stream up. Should have just left it where it was.
That's exactly that, Darren. So I knew it was him.
Could be 2-0 up, yeah.
Well, from what I'm seeing, I didn't think so.
From what I can see, it's just we've just got a little blue circle and they're just running around on the pitch.
So we still have technical difficulties. Sorry, so apologise. I want to check the score actually.
Man City's winning 4-0.
4-0. Damn me.
Jesus.
Tom, unfortunately, we can't get it where our studio is.
What?
It says just get Sky, lads.
Oh, right. The sound of success, that isn't it?
Oh, we're back. Yeah, we're going.
Thank God for that. Just don't press anything, Mark. Just leave it as it is.
So time check, we're now on 69 minutes and 45 seconds, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. So just coming up to the 70-minute mark, and it's been a bit shit this second half, hasn't it?
Oh, it's been dreadful, yeah.
It's been all Fulham, hasn't it?
Yeah, all Fulham, yeah. All Fulham. Well, I haven't been able to get a foot on the ball at any point in the game. We've arguably had the second best chance of the half.
Good. Oh, I thought that was a good tackle.
Yeah.
Like this. He's got. Oh, good block.
No,
it's a wayward shot.
It's just Josh.
Just Josh.
Yeah. It would almost be the perfect shithouse thing for him to actually score.
Oh yeah, and it mean nothing.
It would mean absolutely no.
How did we jump? God, apparently we've jumped ahead. So
jumped ahead.
The stream paused itself and then jumped ahead. So we're We're now back on 70 minutes.
3-0 Villa.
And 45.
Saying thanks for that, Lennon. 3-0 to Villa now.
That's
Chelsea's
ridiculous.
Chelsea's blown at the number.
That is ridiculous.
There's Steve.
And
Thinking of that
Steve.
kebab.
Yeah, 2 Steves.
Steve, and where's the other Steve? A few players gone down like for a while. This in the Willock's just adjusting himself in the background there.
No, it's just it certainly was. Huh?
Just making sure it's still there after he took that little whap to it earlier.
So, do you think we'll sign Harry Kane then?
Well, you know it is when he comes out with stuff. He needs to go on a little crash course of media training. That man, like I tell you.
Did you not think that was just funny though? Like I get it. I get that people love to have a go.
Oh,
but that was just a bit crack, surely, wasn't it?
Oh well, yeah. But even then, you would say like there's different ways of how you react to that, and to just blatantly do it the way he did, it doesn't really sit well with us. But there's like a different
what?
Oh, he has Fabian.
Oh, look at that.
What about the Kane thing?
About the Kane thing, it
Go
just
on, you tell me then.
if it was me, I'd have been like,
was that for Kraft?
I wouldn't have gone. Yeah. I wouldn't have gone to the lengths he did to like belittle the size of the club and use the status as to where we are.
Dubravka slipping over again.
To emphasise the point, it would have been like, have you got to spare 120 million quid somewhere about that I can use to buy this player and things like that. It's just he could have gone down a more light-hearted route with it for me, and it's just. And I know people are looking for anything to give him just a bit of stick with and that, but it's just his reaction could have been a little bit more jovial for me. I don't think it was. And I know, like you say, it was banter, but on his respect, but it could have been handled a little bit better for me, like definitely.
Fair. So do you think we'll sign him, Mark?
The only way we're signing him is if this takeover by PIF goes through, isn't it?
Well, you said
we're
it
not
goes.
saying that either.
That ain't happening.
No chance. Even if we did,
that ain't happening.
No, I'm just kidding. Obviously,
he's going somewhere.
I'm just kidding, by the way. If anyone thinks I'm
he's going somewhere to win something, but whether or not that's certainly not going to be a Tottenham.
Well done to Graf, that was nice. Yeah, and you think,
Flashback says it's 2-0 Villa, not 3.
Oh.
Apparently Lennon was pranking us.
Well, still it's 2-0.
What a joker, Lennon.
Cheers, Lennon.
Hey. Go on, get my foot on the ball here at all, can we?
Nah, it's been all them.
Need something in midfield.
Who would you bring off next?
Gale. He's been shy since he's come on, I need to be fair, but I feel like Sean Longstaff's been
hasn't
utterly non-existent in the second half.
Willock as well to some extent. Tell you what, that number 13's Kenny Remini.
I knew you were going to say something like that. I knew it was coming.
Yeah, we're golden.
Keep
well done,
Safe
Graf, for that.
Got it well there.
He did well.
I see big Fabian going on a 60-yard jaunt with the ball here and taking one Perla at the top corner.
Aye.
Longstaff. Little dink. It's mocked now.
Oh, yeah, Gale.
How
Can you play on? Come on. That was poor.
Miggy's asking the question there about playing on.
I get he's booked them, but that was poor refereeing that.
What a tatey.
That was probably your best one. That was very good. Yeah, Miggy's away here. Like, no, he's only got one to beat.
He's already blown, like, to be fair, hasn't he?
It's poor. Poor refereeing.
It's a naughty challenge, that like.
Yeah, it's Kenny Tatey.
Hi, Kenny. Kenny Tatey.
No. It's one of them where, again, there's a few times I see fouls given and you're like, I'd want me player to go.
VR's looking at this, like, I think, aren't they?
No, substitution. He looks young, doesn't
Is he a number 75? Or 35? I thought it was a 7. From a dodgy angle, it looked like a 7.
he? Joe Bryan, someone that
Tyrese Francois, New Zealand.
Who?
New Zealand flag on it. Didn't count the stars.
No, I didn't either. Give him a chance, shall we? Oh, he has, like, but Christ.
Oh, there we go.
Go back, just start again. That's it, just start again.
Do just need to calm it down a bit.
Yeah, just pass the ball. The first half, they were literally playing from the goalkeeper, almost, you know, passing it out, trying to have time on the ball. I know Fulham are pressing more a bit, but still, they've got to be brave on the ball.
Well, I think your brother, your dad, or your uncle, or somebody's in the chat here.
My brother, right?
Your brother, is it? Gary Mitchell Hill.
Is he saying Bessie's changing that?
He's saying he's seen John Cena more than he's seen Longstaff.
No, that's a fair comment. No, that's a fair comment. A few of my mates have texted me going, "Is that Bestie?"
No. Bestie's in Enchanted Forest somewhere, isn't he?
Is he?
I've been in a soft play the day with the kids. There's about 1 billion people there. I'm not joking, you know. I'm not joking. COVID everywhere.
Oh, the same on the train yesterday. 1 billion people.
Close them down, lads. Go on. One of yours.
That's it.
Go away.
We've just lost that little bit of urgency up front, haven't we?
Yeah.
Even from the midfield breaking. I mean, I know it takes a lot to keep that up for 90 minutes, but
I still think, and I mean, you might disagree here, but if I know Saint wasn't doing much, but taking Saint off and replacing with Gale as a centre half, I'd be like, oh, thank God for that.
No, right.
So, then they'll probably step up 5 or 10 yards further.
But you looked just there when they were resetting there.
Go on.
It was Almiron and Gale was behind him. And obviously they've switched it now, which is
look at Joe. Look at Joe.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, Miggy.
That's the problem. I'm telling you, it's more and more it happens with him. He just picks the wrong pass.
Vision, isn't it?
No, back to a bloody good. When we did this against Leicester the other week.
I was just about to say.
We did that.
Oh, slips.
I'm a Joe. See, Joe just doesn't seem to be moving as freely and chasing things down. I wonder whether that little niggle was still bothering him a bit.
So if this stays 1-0, how many points has he won with his goals? Like it's insane, man, isn't it?
Oh,
insane, really is.
You know, it's not like you can just say, "Oh, he scored 7 in 7," but he scored 7 in 7 and won with something like 15 to 17 points easily. That's it. Go on.
Oh. Had a chance there, didn't he? Too much solid, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Solid, isn't he? And he won't give you much going the other way, but God, he is solid. Like, reads the game well.
You don't often see him get done for pace either.
That's true.
Oh my God. Oh dear.
Who was it?
No.
I'd probably rather.
I know.
Come on here.
I know.
Oh, he's taking Miggy off as well.
I know we're talking about a change in midfield, but come on.
Oh God. Well, there goes the pace.
Yeah. This could now be the slowest centre midfield in world history.
Only us to do that. Go from the fastest to the slowest.
Honestly, I think I'd rather Agnew or Bush come on here than him.
Graham Jones probably do a better job than that.
Yeah. Come on, unless it could be start of the season, Jeff Hendrick.
Yeah.
He's had a bit of a rest for several months.
Well, let's just see 10 minutes. Obviously, he's not going to be busting a gut as he going forward, but let's just see. It's all positionally, defensively, tackles. Let's just see what.
Well, that's it. You might add a little bit of bite in midfield, might you?
Well, it's what you're hoping for.
Just break things up a bit. Like,
can it be more of a presence than Sean Longstaff has been for the last 20 years?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Plus, it'll free Longstaff up to maybe get forward a bit more again in this half. Oof! Leicester equalised 2-2.
Bloody hell!
Chelsea's now up to fourth.
5-0.
Spurs have equalised. Oh, Jesus. Leicester, man. What they're digging.
How are you, lads? Pick it up. That's 10.
Oh, he's gone past him there.
Should have never let him get down there, should have really.
No. I didn't pick up on it in the first half, but there was a great comment. I'm forgetting who it came from now. It was, who's taller, Matt Ritchie or Shah Massey on the line? There she is, bless her.
She was the girl who all the Andy Gray stuff and all that kind of started, didn't it? Was it her?
I think so, yeah.
No, offside, just the rule and all that type of stuff.
She's been around for a long time now.
Yeah, she hasn't changed at all, has she?
No.
Hasn't aged a day.
She was probably one of the best in the field as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Christ
Good pass by that long stuff.
Long stuff.
Meant it. He meant it, you know.
That was dangerous, like. He knew now, did he?
Oof.
Fuck.
Oh, he wasn't even looking at it.
Just swings
Oh.
it, didn't he?
But his heart was in his mouth when he made contact there.
Oh, aye.
Hang on a second. How have I lost it that quick? He just got it back.
He must have just kicked it to them.
Hoof and hope.
God, it's been terrible the second half.
That's for 2 new signings next season.
Hope.
Hoof and hope.
Ooh.
I'll wear ref.
Oh, yeah.
Give it.
See, the thing is, even now when we get it, I've got no real faith we've got anyone to do any.
Aye.
When Miggy and Saint not on, I've got no real
So
faith.
I would like Robbie Savage.
That's what do you call it? Reaming it?
Aye. Tackles like
Oh, it's a bad one, actually, that, isn't it? That's a bad one.
Catches him high with on the dead leg in that top 5, just above your knee. Hurts in there. Fewest clean
Oh,
sheets.
God, look at
Dear
that.
me.
Thanks for
Awful,
that,
that.
lads. Appreciate that. So let's have a
Well,
look.
we've had a brilliant season. Brucey's doing a brilliant job.
Oh, he's doing a fantastic job.
We're still 13th joint with Wolves as things stand.
Schmeichel own goal in the Leicester game.
What they on?
My dad's Peter. Bloody hell.
Was that for the equaliser?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a sick now, that, isn't it?
Go on, Jeff. Ugh.
Schmeichel on goal, aye.
Heads.
Keep us.
They'll be throwing the kitchen sink at Spurs now.
Oh,
like.
Yeah.
I think Chelsea scored to make it 2-1, like, so. That'll make things interesting as well.
Neil Giordi, it's good to see Fulham fans have split. So there's Fulham fans at one end and neutrals at the other. He's right though, because that end to the right now is the.
There's only 2,000 allowed in, though, isn't there?
Aye.
Because it's 10,000 for most grounds, but then if it's
Yeah, it's because
Because
of
of a certain
the size of it has to be
Yeah.
a certain percentage.
So where they've got
they've
most
got
of
to
them.
stand down, aren't they?
Go on. That end to the right is the away end and the neutral section together. Oh, look at that from Hendrick. Standard.
See, it's in them areas where if Shane got it, he would just
Just
go at
drive,
that man there,
yeah.
wouldn't he? Or even Miggy would, you know what I mean? It's just a huge, just night and day, isn't it, really?
Clappers have gone a bit silent.
Clap my things, man.
Must be hard, you know, though, wasn't it?
We did have them for one game. I remember
I'm probably the only
having
fan in the
them
world that
once.
doesn't really mind them. I think it creates volume. That's all I'm interested in.
And now, but then when you go to places like Leicester and they've got them every game, and it sounds like
Yeah.
somebody's turned a big propeller on, and it's
Yeah.
just
It is mental how
Black
irate
and
people
something
get
all the time.
for clappers. Like, yeah, honestly, real issues from people. Like, more so the Twitter lot. Like,
I hate it when you get
good time.
into a ground. I'm thinking of Huddersfield. Yeah.
Hendrick, man,
When
Christ.
they've got a band,
oh,
a band in the stand next to you.
well,
See,
Sheffield
the Swansea
Wednesday.
guy, the Swansea fan yesterday had a drum, massive. In the stand with his son, he was just braying the hell out of
His
it.
son, God bless his son. Now
And there was a guy in front of him,
yeah.
like, was trying to join him, but you could see he was like, Christ's sake.
they've gone to. Come on,
Look at Shardy there.
cool.
Now, did you see all that started from Hendrick, you know?
Oh,
Hendrick lost the ball in midfield. Longstaff did a great tackle, and then Hendrick got caught in possession. I've done Shelby that. He's been good today, to be fair.
he has.
So good
It's been bad, like.
But yeah, as we're talking about drums there, it's like if you go, the warning is when you go to Hillsborough and Sheffield Wednesday, because that's the home of the England band. They're all Sheffield Wednesday fans.
Well done.
So they're always puttering around.
What's happened there?
Callum, Fulham crowd so quiet you can hear the river. Oh yes, I'll give you that one, Callum. That's a quality.
But I tell you what, if there was somebody next to me in a game with a drum, I'd be do me nothing, like, because you didn't want to be going to sleep still hearing the drum beating away, like.
Yeah.
I still remember the game that we had. We had somebody playing a drum at the end of at the back end of the Gallowgate, and it was just so out of tune. It didn't have any rhythm or anything.
You used to complain about it all the time.
If you're gonna do it, like, at least be able to play like a tune to a chant or something like that, not just like a random.
It was out of
random
stuff,
beat,
wasn't it? Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying I can play the drum better, like, but dear me.
Well,
surely, if you've got a massive drum that you can bring to the match, you should be able to bang it in time.
We're not expecting to play Run to the Hills. We just need it in time.
Aye.
His name on the back there, what's he called?
Decord over Reed.
That would have cost you a fortune back in the 90s.
Pound a letter.
Pound a letter.
Hey, it cost me.
Put it back. Oh, really?
Thank you very much.
Is he going out?
Has to be.
He's never.
He's not giving us. Oh,
Yes,
yes.
Now, do you think you might actually get to take this one?
He's going to take
Richie straight away.
Ricky Hill's after, isn't he?
I have a feeling, I'm not sure if he touched him or not, to be honest. I shot a penalty, of course I do.
Oh, he's clipped his heel.
Clips his heel.
It's soft.
It's tatey again.
It is soft.
as hell,
It's soft as hell, but he has clipped his heel there. Look, you see it from the.
If anything, it's Richie lifting his foot into it, isn't it?
I only judge a penalty if it was the same way it was now.
Oh,
devastated if that was a penalty. But it's a penalty and we're happy days. All right, Richie,
I just want to see Richie take it because after the two the other week.
What a tatey.
What's
shit?
Shit!
What's going on?
Why would I Dubravka? Shea is cool as ice. It depends, man. Cool as the problem is he doesn't hit with power normally.
I'm going to say this.
I did not see this coming, like.
This will be as calm as
he's going to bend it at the top corner or something, isn't he?
I told you,
you cheeky bastard!
I told you, calm as you like.
You
cheeky
bastard!
Apologise. I reckon they'll give it to him for the season he's had with injury. You know that injury.
It's a good shout, that, mate. You're as cold as ice.
Honestly, I told
cold
you,
as ice.
I've seen him take a few, and he's so cool, man. So cool. Shit, eyes like. Oh,
hey, totally done him, like. He knows he's been done
he's,
as well.
He's proper looking in the right-hand corner, isn't he?
Oh, hey.
Absolute ice.
Hey, that's taking the piss, that, like, isn't it?
It is, like. It's ultimate banter. Yeah. Well done, Fabian. I totally forgot he'd come on the pitch. That's mental, lad.
Brilliant. How the fuck now we're doing? But
we've been awful. Absolutely awful this second half.
Lovely penalty, that.
Hey.
He seems to have sparked them up a bit.
Oh Christ!
That makes me feel.
It sparked Steve up and all.
That makes me feel a bit sick. That, like, when he's hanging over the side like that,
makes you think that he's going to drop the camera.
I'm not like scared of heights, but that's just like a funny old angle.
I wonder what the new angle will look like when they finish the stand.
When you saw that shot of the stand before, like, that actually was pretty up to the touchline, and it was like up, and then the seats started.
You see there, you see just down in the corner, that's the wall for the scaffolding. Yeah. But the way they've extended it, they've had to, on the actual river side, they've had to push the river wall out by 9 meters to accommodate the expansion of the stand, and the path is going to go underneath the new stand.
Oh, so it'll be like come over the top and you'll walk underneath it, like our the Milburn stand.
Yeah.
It's been a lovely weekend for football, hasn't it?
And it's
been lovely. Really has. Really has. It's not often you get to say that, is it? Where like everything goes right. You know what I mean? Go on, son.
Go on, son. Go on, little Joe.
Oh, we did that.
Go on, he'll get it. Well done.
Played that, you know.
Go on, Shelby.
Left. He's going to hit it, isn't he?
Oh, he wanted to.
Should have just rolled it out.
He scored a screamer, didn't he? In that 4-0 one last time. Oi.
In 5 minutes as well.
Oh, yes.
Dead
hit it! Hey, swing out.
Back in. Hit it,
Go on, Fabs.
Hit it. Go on, Fabs.
Go on, Fabs.
Go on.
Hey. Seen him do that now before.
It just opened up like the Red Sea for him there, didn't it? Dear me. Have we seen how many minutes extra time? Haven't I done?
No, it hasn't come up yet. There you go. Oh, one. That took them a long enough.
And that is that then. Thanks very much. Thanks for coming.
Fabian Share again.
Look, there we go.
Yeah.
Well done, lads.
18.
Well done.
Was
But
it
one
shit
year
or-
now.
I was only straight out, eh? Straight in there, he messing about.
One year now. He wasn't driving on an Austin, but 1 year now. Well,
Just look how high that is there, man.
Oh, I
we'll sign off with a win.
But that was a poor second half, though, wasn't it?
Diabolical. That was really, really poor. But it's the result that counts. And I think that's put we're in 13th, which I know some people go, well,
12th.
12th.
Currently 12th on 45 points.
12th.
So is down to the Wolves game, is it?
Yeah, I think they were getting beat. And they've got 2 minutes left in the Wolves game.
I'll quickly flick the channel over to see if we can get the scores coming in.
Oh, Leicester Spurs. It's 3-2 to Spurs.
Are you joking? Oh,
Jesus wept.
it is high.
Gareth Bale.
They've obviously
Is it?
tried to push up, haven't they, and getting caught probably.
Man City 5-0. 2-1 Villa Chelsea now.
It doesn't matter.
How many Aguero got there?
Uh,
I love him to see get the match ball. Like.
I do hope that's not the last we see of Joe Willock, though.
in a Newcastle shirt for sure. Absolutely. But, look at that. Red card as well.
Red card in the Chelsea game.
Wow.
It was still on, aren't we? Well, like sort of Saturday now. Sort of Sunday.
Hey.
12th, you know. It's not bad.
We're 12th, you know.
Oh, he's away
You didn't
again.
like that day?
That's what I get for putting me phone.
That's not bad, that, you know. I don't think we can be much better than that, you know. I really don't. And I see like Everton in that in 10th. I mean, how you've getting 12th, I agree.
Yeah.
Like, do you understand? I know what you're saying there, and I hope that sounds right what I'm trying to get at. Like, you're getting 12th, but in a very,
Well,
very difficult
we've jumped 5 places, essentially, haven't we? Where
On the
we've
last
been
day.
sitting 17th for God knows how long.
in isolation, 12th.
And we jump up to 12th.
Yeah.
Because this is the problem we've got, is the media will be going, you finished 12th and you've got the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, or the League Cup, whatever it was,
Aye.
and then all of a sudden we look the enemy.
Aye,
But
absolutely.
sometimes it's how you get there, isn't it?
West Ham have had it.
I'm sure you've been waiting for all these to come in before he then goes out and does his press interview.
Yeah, yes. I'm going to be really honest here, and I'm going to get wrong again. I am going to get wrong again, and then, fair enough. If I was Steve Bruce, I would be the same.
Oh, aye. Well, no,
I
that's
would be the same.
perfectly
I would come out
fair.
and go, do you know what it is? Like, I get shit every week and we're finished 12th.
Stuff is.
Is it the points total someone mentioned before? Is it level perhaps, or 1 point
I
ahead?
think maybe one ahead.
I'm just saying.
But that's exactly how you would do it. That's how it would work in real. How it
And I
works
get
in
people
the real world.
stuff on.
Oh,
As Tobias has just said there, all of the pundits and the haters will be saying, well, you know, why are you doubting Bruce? You finished 12th.
Yeah.
this must go down.
It just doesn't. The league position doesn't tell you the story of this season,
Yes,
does it?
and I give you that one as well. And it's the problem that you've got. You know, your TalkSport lot, your what's Harry Hans called?
Richard Keys, Ian Sport.
That type of audience.
Oh,
you know, it's played at there. Listen, at the end of the day, right? I'm happy that we're 12th. I'm happy that we're not in any trouble, or we haven't. I'm very close to being in trouble, but. You know, I still look at teams like this. Look at Fulham there. Do you know what I mean? Like, how shit it must be to support them. It's up and down every year. You know what I mean? It's up and down. You come up, you're going back down. West Brom's exactly. Bang baggies. It's. Of course, I want more for it. Christ, of course I do. But like,
I do feel for the West Brom fans because they've got some good fans there, you know, and they're like, but that's got to be their expectations because they are a proper yo-yo team, aren't they? People throw that label. People throw that label at us about being a yo-yo club.
We're not.
Like we used to be a long time ago, but the problem is we are always down the bottom end, the wrong end of the table, aren't we? Because we cannot put anything together to get us up.
I think it was that guy, wasn't it? Yeah, well, you know, the second half was absolutely appalling, and unfortunately, it's most what we've seen for the season. But I did get it. He has got it. He's just said it's a bit small, isn't it?
How am I going to get rid
I
of
don't
this?
think you're getting that. Yeah, you're okay.
So,
But we finish the season with a victory.
Happy
do.
days. Happy days. Yeah.
We do.
Happy days.
So
that run's gone even further, and it's important how we now carry it into next season. You know, as things stand now, we're going to have to accept that as things are in terms of manager and ownership, this is how it's going to be next season. So we're now got to move into that, and I tell you what, I would like to have that job, you know, to try and guide her through this summer and do the recruitment and that, because it's going to be tough. Really tough.
If it's true that it's only £12 million, I didn't care who you've got. I didn't care who you've got. You know, Bobby Robson back. God listen, you know, you're not going to bring in the required level of talent that we need. And under Ashley and under Bruce, this is as good as it's going to get.
the problem is what you've just said there. It's Lee Charney that is doing the negotiations, isn't it? He's the man that has to make that happen. And Christ, I haven't heard from him for the entirety of this season that I can think of.
True, but again, I mean, Lee Charney could be, you know, the best managing director or the best CEO ever. But if you're going into meetings with players with peanuts,
no,
you ain't gonna sign them. Like, you know, you're just not. So I think a lot. I'm very interested to see who will lose. Mm-hmm. I say lose who we want to get rid of. So I don't think anyone willingly will say put their hand up and say I want out. And I'll come back to what I said a few times. I thought after the Brighton game, it's 4-2 now. Christ,
4-2. It's finished now.
Jesus.
I thought
Leicester blew up. Oh, Bale with it. Another 96th minute.
So I'm saying. I thought that the players weren't playing for Bruce anymore, especially after that Brighton game.
Yeah.
And the biggest surprise for me is how the players clearly still are. I mean, Christ, I put a £50 bet on that he was going to be the next manager after Brighton. You know what I mean? So it was the worst bet ever. You got manager, but you wouldn't.
I wonder what the odds were for that.
Here's our number 9 next season.
That's a relief.
Harry Kane.
Yeah.
But who would have thought though, going back a few weeks, like you said, that Brighton game, and you know, especially that run around the Christmas time and stuff like that. There's no way on earth, you know, you would see us sitting 12th in the table.
That's exactly right. That is exactly right. And like, do you know what I mean? Like, to be honest, to be like, well done to the players. Well done to them all. Do you know what I mean? Because that's what we want. Mm-hmm. I just think what we don't want is to be going into the last day sitting 17th. I think that's probably the bigger problem or the bigger issue. Yeah.
It's, you know, we've done remarkably to, you know, when everything seemed lost after 3-0 at Brighton, like you say, Martin, it's just turned around completely. It's I often wonder how it's played out behind the scenes, you know, because they were all expecting Steve Bruce to go, and they were expecting to find out that he got the sack, to then find from the owner that it's been a complete U-turn in the fact that he's not going anywhere. So you are just going to have to sort it out amongst yourselves. So there's been some sort of collective thing there, whether it be between Steve Bruce and the players or between the players themselves, that, oh no, it's not going to get any better than this. We're just going to have to fucking look in and go.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they've done. So credit to them, and you know, credit to Steve as well. It's got to be said, he did it somehow.
Yeah, you know, some of the results on the way into the season were really impressive. I mean, shocking. The West Ham one shocked me. Liverpool away. Leicester game. Yeah. Like, there was some. I mean, I can't remember. This was the run of games where we thought, well, our constitution
Everton
again
as well.
Everton, yeah. But that particular run of games, I was thinking we're not going to win again here. No. And ironically, we picked up arguably more points over that period than we did like over other runs in the season. So, we've been lucky and we've put together some little spells of where we've picked up points, and in games where we didn't think we would pick up points. Definitely to pick points, but the points up where we thought we would, and then other games, which were the big frustrating ones, were where
we expect to be picking up points, and we just didn't even turn up for the games, which we've mentioned and stuff.
I think that's for me is a good comment. That like I get it, right. Like I understand football. Like why would you even bother playing if you look at your fixtures and went, well, we'll win that one, we'll lose that one, we'll win that one. What we I hate when that pattern. Every fan does it, but how boring,
especially this season as well, because results have just been all over the place, haven't they?
No fans, I still think, it's been a massive part in that. But football just doesn't work that way, does it? Like you can't just look down a list of paper and go, "Well, you're hammered. They all beat them." We all do it.
We'd all be millionaires. I'm betting.
Absolutely right. And it's time and time again. Even that one today, Sheffield United beating Burnley. Even that still surprises because you know what I mean. Like it's in football, you cannot look at it that way. And next season will be the same. Yeah. We'll be sitting around this table going berserk because we've drew against Burnley when we're expected to win. We will. I'm telling you, we will. But there'll also be a game where we'll go, Christ, we'll just be Chelsea at home. Yeah. Like that's just football. It just is what it is.
Well, speaking of wins, we can't finish the stream without hearing those immortal words.
Well, thank you very much for watching. I hope it wasn't too bad. Daryl, thanks very much for coming on.
It's been my pleasure. I've loved it.
Yeah, spot on, mate. Spot on.
Give her a critique of Daryl's performance in the chat. Let me know.
If you've still got eardrums left, by all means.
But thanks very much. We won you now.
Get
in, man. And we'll see you next season.
We'll see you. We'll see you tomorrow.
We'll see you
tomorrow for the match review. And don't disappear anywhere in the summer because we're certainly not. We've got this brand new studio, so we're going to be putting it to good use during the summer because I don't know if you're aware, but it's the Euros. So we've got big plans for the summer with the Euros happening. So stay tuned for that. And then before you know it, it will indeed be the start of another season.
It's the Euros, you know.
The Euros, you know. But for now, thank you for tuning in. And I'm going to disappear off camera to stop the stream. But we'll see you next time. Cheers.
And we'll see.